been a lot of shock and anger about Trump's victory in the last 24 hours. There have been protests across the United States, in New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. and elsewhere. Demonstrators chanting, "Not my president, not today." Well, Daniel Kroop is an organizer at the Socialist Alternative New York group. He joins me now on the line from New York. The election is over. What are you hoping to achieve with these protests?
Hi, good evening. Thanks for having me on. I think the first and most important thing to note is people are terrified, they are disgusted that Donald Trump is the president-elect of our country. I think what's so clear is that his white nationalist agenda and his white supremacist agenda is something that so many people find disgusting. And what's also important to remember is there are many, many millions of people who did not vote for Donald Trump and many, many millions more who didn't vote at all, who were so turned off by both parties. So now the task in front of us is to unite and to make sure that we can build a wall around Trump's hateful agenda. That's what working people, LGBT people, and women, Latinos, we all need to come together to do that. So these protests that Socialist Alternative and others called for are the first step in building that resistance.
All right, but we've just seen him sitting in the White House, which is where he will be, like it or not, in 72 days as the president of the United States. Did you not hear what President Obama said? He said it's time for the country to get behind him, to give him a chance, to let him govern. Is that not the way forward?
It isn't the way forward. Actually, I think if you look at the election results, what is really interesting is the number of votes the Democrats lost from 2008, when Obama was first elected, till 2016. Hillary Clinton simply did not present an alternative. And that's exactly what this election was about. It really was about the fact that the Democratic Party has become completely captured by neoliberalism and corporate interests. That's what NAFTA was. That's what Obamacare was, as a huge giveaway to the insurance company without even providing a public option. We've seen many, many people grow so frustrated with the Democratic Party that they can't provide a real fight back.
Okay, Trump is also against NAFTA, just by the by, but I mean, you've lost this election, and you're talking a lot like Bernie Sanders, who lost the nomination contest to become the Democratic candidate. What you're saying certainly resonates with a lot of people. People are upset, people are angry, but what do you expect to happen? The decision is not going to be overturned.
You're right. I don't think that we're going to be able to stop Donald Trump getting into office. But the question is, can we stop his agenda? And the real people who will be on the front lines, the first to be attacked, will be LGBT people. It will be undocumented people. It will be Latinos who are being targeted already, African Americans being targeted with a rise in hate crimes. So the reality now is, how do working class people organize? And what we need to do is come together and build an independent working class movement. And the Democratic Party is no longer a vehicle for that. I actually agree with what you're saying. Bernie Sanders, who I supported in the Democratic primary, unfortunately, he chose to run in a primary process that was entirely tilted towards Hillary Clinton, right? So if we look at these white working class areas in Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, those are areas that Bernie Sanders was beating Hillary Clinton in the primary. Then they flipped because Trump actually, if you listen to him, ran an anti-establishment campaign.
Right, but
and just like Brexit,
Daniel,
or just like in France.
I hear your pain, but this is all academic, isn't it? It's all said and done. The election is over. Daniel, we have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Daniel Kroop, though, from the Socialist Alternative in New York.
Thanks very much.